I would like to call the Monday, August the 25th, 2025 Common Council meeting to order. Clerk Toronto, I believe you would like to make some comments regarding the link for this meeting and other expectations.
Good evening, members of the public. For audio quality, we will be muting everyone not speaking by default to maintain good audio quality for council members and yourselves. If you would like to speak during the meeting on a certain agenda item or during privilege of the floor, please submit your request in the chat. Directions to do so will be listed. We ask that you provide your full name, address, and topic you are speaking on, as those are required for all speakers at in-person council meetings. If you would like to be called on during the meeting to provide public input, please insert the following into the chat, and you will then be called on during the relevant time for public input. My name is full name, and I live at address, and I would like to speak on for or against agenda item. You will then be given 5 minutes to speak. Please be sure to unmute yourself prior to giving your remarks. Thank you so much.
Disrespectful, rude, or disruptive speech or actions will not be tolerated. Such speech or actions, as well as verbal attacks on any person, may result in the individual without notice forfeiting the remainder of his or her allotted time. We're going to ask everybody to stand for invocation, and we're going to ask Dr. Eli Williams from First Unitarian Church to please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record.
My name is Eli Williams, and I live at 911 Lindsay Street. Our values as Unitarian Universalists are justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, generosity, and love at the center. For tonight's opening prayer, I'm going to read the lyrics of a song, Plowshare Prayer, by Spencer LaJoy, that exemplifies these values. Dear blessed Creator, dear Mother, dear Savior, dear Father, dear Brother, dear Holy Other, dear sibling, dear baby, dear patiently waiting, dear sad and confused, dear stuck and abused, dear end of your rope, dear worn out and broke, dear go it alone, dear running from home, dear righteously angry, forsaken by family, dear jaded and quiet, dear tough and defiant. I pray that I'm heard, and I pray that this works. I pray if a prayer has been used as a sword against you and your heart, against you and your word, I pray that this prayer is a plowshare of sorts, that it might break you open and might help you grow. I pray that your body gets all that it needs, and if you don't want healing, I just pray for peace. I pray that your burden gets lighter each day. I pray the mean voice in your head goes away. I pray that you honor the grief as it comes. I pray you can feel all the life in your lungs. I pray that if you go all day being brave, that you can go home, go to bed, feeling safe. I pray you're forgiven. I pray you forgive. I pray you set boundaries and openly live. I pray that you will feel you are worth never leaving. I pray you know I will always believe you. I pray that you're heard, and I pray that this works. Amen on behalf of the last and the least, on behalf of the anxious, depressed, and unseen. Amen for the workers, the hungry, the houseless. Amen for the lonely and recently spouseless. Amen for the queers and their closeted peers. Amen for the bullied who'd hold back their tears. Amen for the mothers of little black sons. Amen for the kids who grow up scared of guns. Amen for the addicts, ashamed and hung over. Amen for the calloused, the wizened, the sober. Amen for the ones who want life to be over. Amen for the leaders who lose their composure. And amen for the parents who just lost their baby. Amen for the chronically ill and disabled. Amen for the children down at the border. Amen for the victims of our law and order. I pray that you're heard, and I pray that this works. I pray if a prayer has been used as a sword against you and your heart, against you and your word, I pray that this prayer is a plowshare of sorts. Amen.
Now we're going to repeat Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance All right, Clerk Toronto, if you please will give us a roll call.
Councilmember Gooden Rogers. I believe she is online, so I just want to make sure. Councilmember McBride,
Present.
Councilmember Warner. Councilmember Bolden Simpson,
Present.
Councilmember Nisgowsky,
Present.
Councilmember White,
Present.
Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Present.
Vice President Thomas Morgan,
Present.
President Lee,
Present.
and I do see Councilmember Althea Gooden Rogers online, and I have all 9 council members present.
All right, thank you. We want to thank the public for being here today. Now we're going to have a report from Subcommittee on Minutes for the August 11th, 2025.
To the Common Council of the City of South Bend, the subcommittee has inspected the minutes of the August 11th, 2025 meeting of the council and found them to be correct. Therefore, we recommend the same be approved.
Second motion.
There's been a motion and a second. Clerk Toronto, please call the roll.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson,
Aye.
Councilmember McBride,
Aye.
Councilmember Warner, Councilmember Nisgowsky,
Aye.
Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Gooden Rogers,
Aye.
Vice President Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
President Lee.
Aye.
9 ayes.
All right, thank you. These minutes have been submitted. We have special business. Councilwoman McBride, do you have the presentation or will you be making it online or would you like me to do it for you?
I'll be making it online. Thank you.
All right,
Okay.
special business. There you go.
Thank you. At this time, there's a special resolution 0520-525. Clerk Toronto, are you ready for me to proceed?
I am. At this time, would you like the photos up? The
Yes, if you
presentation?
could,
Yes.
if you can put the photos up and also have Miss Marla Godet and I don't know if Elizabeth Hembrook is in the audience, and then if we have Ethan Rogers, Joseph Zerbuck, and Tyler Ingram in the audience, if they can come up at this time also. And then I don't know if we have Jordan Gathers and Juan Martinez here from VPA as well. And I know Pastor Carl is also in the audience, Hetler. So if they can come up to the podium for us to read this resolution from the Parks Committee.
Yes, they are approaching the podium at this time.
Thank you. At this time, I'll start reading the resolution. We have a special resolution of the South Bend Common Council recognizing the positive results of a partnership between the South Bend Department of Venues, Parks, and Arts and Logan Center. Whereas early this spring, Marla Godet, transition specialist with Logan Center's pre-employment training program, or the PREATS, contacted Jordan Gathers, executive director of South Bend's Venues, Parks, and Arts Department, to discuss an internship opportunity offering employment for young adults with intellectual disabilities and or other special needs. And whereas after learning the details of the program offered to local young adults ages 18 to 24 in local school systems, Mr. Gathers convened his team to find a spot to add this level of diversity to their department. And whereas Ms. Godet and her manager of the PREATS department, Elizabeth Hambrook, were invited to a meeting with John Martinez, facilities directors with VPA, to launch this innovative partnership. And whereas 3 very capable and qualified candidates, Ethan Rogers, Joseph Zerbeck, and Tyler Ingram, were selected to intern to the PREACH program. And whereas the Logan Center crew was thus formed and the crew took over the general care of the Southeast Park and areas inside and out surrounding the VPA facilities building. And whereas these young adults have learned safety, security, and have been trained by the city's unsheltered community coordinator, Carl Hetler, on safe interactions with our unsheltered residents, environmental safety, inventory control, and so much more. And whereas the Logan Center is proof that when given a chance and properly trained, all people are able to succeed in environments that embrace all aspects of diversity. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the South Bend Common Council, on behalf of the citizens of the city of South Bend and the South Bend Common Council, acknowledge and applaud the positive results achieved through the partnership between Logan Center and the South Bend Department of VPA. It is our sincere hope that this partnership is a lasting example of creating a diverse workforce because it is within us to do so and not because we identified a department to require it. Finally, thank you to Logan Center, the City of South Bend, Department of VPA, and the parents who never stop supporting their young adults. Given this day, August 25th, 2025, and that's from the Park Committee, Sharon McBride, Ophelia Gooden Rogers, Troy Warner, and Karen L. White. And so I would just like to thank Ms. Godette and Logan Center for their hard work and partnering with the VPA department and for these young men to work hard and contribute their time daily and have been a great example of a partnership and to see what it looks like if we work together. And a special shout out to Jordan Gathers and John Martinez and Pastor Carl and Marla for their hard work coordinating this program and overseeing it. And I hope that it's something that we would continue in the future. And I'm excited that they chose Southeast Park to be the example this year with that partnership. So at this time, I would like to first have Marla and Pastor Carl, and if anyone from there from BPA to have some words, and then turn also to the young men and see if they have anything that they would want to say and acknowledge their family as well. I'll yield at this time.
Thank you so much. My name is Marla Godette. I'm a transition specialist with Logan Center. And just like Councilwoman McBride said, it was a great opportunity to work with Jordan Gathers and John Martinez and to bring these young men on. They worked with me at Bethel University, and when I saw their diligence and their abilities, making them my three was not difficult at all. And they have proven that they are the ones, they've taken ownership of the Southeast Park as well as the facilities building. And as you can see from just those few photos, that they are consistent and diligent in their work and what they do. They take pride in it. And they don't like that you all put confetti out in the park because they have to clean it. Okay? So I want to thank Pastor Carl, and this is Elizabeth, my supervisor. Elizabeth.
Carl Hetler, Department of Community Investment, offices on the 14th floor, working with these young men and talking with them as they encountered people who were unhoused and being able to talk about all the things we're doing here in the city to help provide housing and resources, to help allay their concerns, help explain why sometimes people lose their housing and what we are doing as a city to provide for them was part of the work that I did. But then also talking about boundaries and how important it is for these young men to understand that they have a role to do and that if someone asks them to do something that is outside of their scope and their work, that it's okay to say no. And so that's one of the things that we talked about. And it's important for all of us to remember that it's okay to have boundaries, to have limits on what we can provide. And I'm proud of them, of the work that they did, the great care they provided in our Southeast Park, and how they learned better about what we're doing as a city to help care for other people in need, and how they're able to also understand their limits of what they could provide and be comfortable in that and the great work they did. So I'm proud to be able to support them, the work that they're doing to invest in our community and help them be a part of our community, working together to care for others around us. Thank you.
Elizabeth Hambrook. I'm the supervisor at Logan of Marla and the team, and I'm just so grateful for this opportunity for our young adults to work at the parks. We are overjoyed and very proud of them. This partnership has been wonderful, and I hope it can continue. Thank you so much.
My name is Tyler, and thank you for this job.
Joseph has thank you cards for everyone on the council, and he will leave them for you all to get.
Hello, my name's Ethan Rogers, and I work at the South Bend Venues and Parks and Arts as grounds and park maintenance. I would like to thank the people that got, oh, hold on, this is not the right one, sorry. This one, sorry. Hello, my name's Ethan Rogers, and I work at the South Bend Venues, Parks and Arts as ground park maintenance. I would like to thank the people that got me this job, including Mr. John and Miss Serena, and from Logan as well. I really appreciate it, and it changed my life forever, and it made me feel better. Learning many different things and being responsible, all these positive things that people are saying about the park and how we are doing a good job. We are keeping it clean every day, making it a better place to go and have fun. And South Bend Venues, Parks and Arts building too, keeping it clean every day as well, having a good reputation for the city. So again, thank you again. So thank you again to the people that helped me get this job. This is the best thing that ever happened to me.
And finally, I'd like the parents to please stand. Those who have supported, these are parents who drive, make sure their students and, they get to work and provide for them. And you all, we can't do it without you. So thank you so much to our VP, Ms. Cheryl Shady. Thank you for being here, and thank you for allowing us to even take a chance and make this partnership. I appreciate your trust, and we just thank you all, and thank you to the city. We appreciate you all very much.
Thank you so much. Don't go anywhere yet, Ms. Godette. I'm going to ask the council to come down and take pictures with the family and with you all that's there and with the young men that's there today. And I'm sorry I couldn't be there today, but I am so proud of everything that you all are doing. And Pastor Lee, if you could have the council make some comments if they would like before they exit the facilities, that would be great.
What was that?
Comments.
So before you all leave, we just want to give council members an opportunity to say something, and we'll start. Start with at-large member Karen White.
I would just like to say thank you to all of the supporters, and partnerships are so important, not only for the city and the organizations that you are representing, but for the community at large. And for the young gentleman said that this is the best thing that has ever happened to him. I was sitting here fighting back the tears because it's such a very exciting partnership. It's very unique and it's very needed. So to the parents and to everyone that were part of this partnership, we thank you so much, and we look forward to the upcoming year.
Yep. Councilwoman Sheila Niskowski.
Thank you, President. Thank you, President Lee. Yeah, I'll echo a little bit of what Ms. Karen White said. And to Joseph,
Yeah.
you're welcome, Joseph.
Oh,
This is a
yeah.
very nice card. So thank you so much for sending this. What a great partnership. And to say that I wasn't choked up, I would be lying because I was very choked up. But this is a great opportunity for this partnership. Thank you for keeping the parks clean, you know, learning a skill, a job, getting paid. That's even more important. And for the opportunity to just be part of the city. I wish you all the best moving forward in the years to come, and your parents, what gems. I'm sure that they are all very proud of you. So thank you so much today, and thank you for the card. It was very nice of you all to handwrite this. And Marla Gadet, you are a wonderful person.
Vice President Thomas Morgan.
Thank you. Thank you all who have come here this evening to show support and to Logan Center, the city of South Bend, and the young men who worked with VPA. I just want to say that it certainly is partnerships like this, critical partnerships that help to provide opportunities and make South Bend a place that can offer opportunities for all. So thank you.
We'll go over to Ms. Sherry Bolden Simpson.
I just want to thank you. It's just, it touched my heart so much, I couldn't stop the tears. Because a job gives you purpose, and what you do is important, young men. I want you to know that. And to Carl and Ms. Gaudette and the other lady, thank you for organizing this. Very proud of South Bend right now. Very proud. Thank you.
Dr. Davis.
It's a wonderful opportunity tonight, and it's a wonderful way to start our council meeting by having this a partnership together with all of you at Logan and our parks. It's just a wonderful, thank you, parents, and, for being here, for uplifting your children in ways that they will always remember. I appreciate these cards. I keep them.
Yeah.
You know, you don't always get a thank you card in our world, and so I appreciate the times when we do, and it's a blessing. So thank you, and just thank you for making our city a stronger place because of you.
Councilman Troy Warner.
Thank you. I want to start thanking Councilmember Bride for putting this on our radar and setting it up. Thank you. I wish we lived in a community where touching great stories like this went viral and were the things that got clicks and attention and were spread around. Unfortunately, it's not. You know, there's thousands of great stories in our city like this that we hear, and I know I'll be doing my part to spread always the good stories about the city of South Bend and all of the amazing people that live here. And thank you for that and bringing that to us. Thank you.
We'll go online. Miss Ophelia Gooden Rogers.
But thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for Councilwoman McBride for setting this up. All those young men, I'm so happy for them. They look all very, very happy. Okay. So this is a great evening. It's like Councilman Warner said, or one of you said, I'm sorry, I don't know who it was, but one of you said that it's great to hear good news for a change at the podium. And I appreciate that. So shows that we do work on good things in the community. Thank you, Sharon.
And Sharon, Councilwoman McBride.
Thank you. I have nothing else. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
When Sharon called me about this, I said, most definitely, let's put it on. Let's make sure it happens. Again, to Carl, to Marla, to the great people at Logan, and to the individuals, to you guys for your commitment to want to get out of the box and be out in our parks. And also, we want to commend Jordan Gathers and the VPA staff for giving these individuals an opportunity. And people don't know, it doesn't take anything to be nice, and to be nice and give people an opportunity. When the young man said this was the best thing that ever happened to him, I that got me too, because there's nothing like giving people an opportunity to show what they can do. And there's a place for everybody here in South Bend. So thank you all so much. And we're so grateful to have you. God bless you. Now I will entertain a motion to resolve into the committee of the whole.
So move.
Second.
There's been a motion and second. Clerk Toronto, please call the roll.
Councilmember McBride,
Aye.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson,
Present. Oh, aye. I'm sorry. No.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Yes. Aye.
Councilmember Nisgowsky,
Aye.
Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Gooden Rogers,
Aye.
Vice President Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
President Lee,
Aye.
9 ayes.
You're now in the committee of the whole.
Committee of the Whole is now in session. This is the portion of the council's meetings where bills are given a second reading and a public hearing before a committee made up of all 9 council members. All bills set for this second reading and public hearing have previously been given a first reading at a committee hearing prior to this evening's meeting. In addition, we will hear from the chairperson of the standing committee where the bill was discussed and the results of that discussion. If the proposed ordinance is a zoning ordinance, a report from a staff member will be given. In all other situations, the formal presentation on the proposed ordinance will immediately follow the committee report. The formal presentation shall be untimed. Immediately following the formal presentation, council members will have the opportunity to ask preliminary questions of the staff and petitioners. Then the members of the public shall have the opportunity to address the council in the public hearing portion. Clerk Torado, well, we'll start, first we had a couple bills that are tabled. Bill 3925 was tabled until September 8th, and Bill 4725 was tabled to September 22nd. Okay, given that, Clerk Torado, can you please give Bill 4025 a second reading?
Public hearing on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, approving a petition of the Advisory Board of Zoning Appeals for the property located at 1527 South Michigan Street, Councilmanic District Number 2 in the City of South Bend, Indiana.
Thank you. Councilmember Thomas Morgan, do you have a committee report?
Yes, Bill 4025 comes to the committee of the whole with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hello. Good evening, council members. Tim Staub, zoning specialist for the city of South Bend with offices on the 14th floor. Before you is bill number 40-25, a petition for a special exception by the owners of 1527 Michigan to permit the use of vehicle service minor. The property is located in the neighborhood center zoning district, and the site was previously home to an automobile dealership from at least 2007 to at least 2022. The Board of Zoning Appeal, upon reviewing the staff recommendation and context of the application, determined that as the building was developed with automobile service in mind, a special exception is warranted. The building on site was at one point used for vehicle service, and this would be reactivating a vacant space. The Board of Zoning Appeals, or as mentioned, the committee sends it with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you, sir. Our petitioners, good evening.
Good evening.
Evening.
Good evening.
My name is David Slay, 2617 West Gray Street, South Bend.
Good evening. My name is Faris Farhan, 1828 T Rose Lane.
Once again, I'm David Saleh. We Get You Properties property manager. I'm here alongside the property owner, Faris Farhan. Kind of go ahead and briefly give a presentation over our special exception zoning request. Just a little bit of background. This was on the table about a month ago. We decided to table it, and then the following day we met with a smaller group of council members that kind of helped work with us and give us a plan of action, which we have followed and really enjoyed the process of just working and working with specific council members in that area, particularly Councilwoman McBride. Just had a great partnership with her along this process, and it's just really opened up our eyes and helped us build a lot of great relationships. I think that will strengthen our partnerships with the city as a whole. So thank you for working with us. And yes, I'll go ahead and get started. So just a quick request for the approval for the property on 1527 Michigan Street. Quick agenda, just the purpose, property overview, proposed use, community impact and support, and then what our next steps are looking like at the moment. So the property at 1527 Michigan Street has been in functional auto shop since the 1970s, up until recently 2022. Significant investments made by the owner included $30,000 rubber roof and new exterior doors, which have been made to ensure longevity, security, and compliance with safety standards, and just making sure that the property itself is just in compliance with the city. It's just been ready to go, just making sure that it's always been up to standards, which was a key emphasis. The proposed use for it would include minor auto shop services, so oil change, basic repairs, diagnostics for passenger vehicles. We did mention in the previous meeting a couple hours ago that the preference will be given to business owners that plan to offer other services such as window tinting or tire shop. This was based on community feedback, and I can touch more on that in a couple slides. However, just minor auto services is what we're looking for, with the preference given to the window tinting and tire shops. So ultimately, somewhere along those ranges, we would like to host that type of business in the property. There's going to be no hazardous materials. That's something that the owners have just kind of had in mind. They're not going to try to do anything that's going to be harmful to the environment. We want to be eco-friendly, and we want to definitely make sure that there's nothing that's going to be on the property, such as abandoned vehicles, discarded tires, and other forms of visual nuisance that might not be as pleasing to the passerbys especially on Michigan Street, which is a very busier street. And then we would like to just have a convenient business hours from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., where it works with people that are local in that neighborhood, while not going too late and causing a noise disturbance or anything of that sort. And that's how we would plan on standing out, especially with this property. A quote from the business owner. He said that the commitment to sustainability and compliance ensures that our operations will not only benefit local residents, but also contribute positively to the environment and community standards. This is something that really was strong, is getting that owner on board with it. And, you know, he's in it for the community. He's in it long term. As we have spoken to a couple of council members, we expressed that we've had a history working with the city. We're from the city, we're from the area, and we just want to stay and keep on being a positive force within the communities here in South Bend. Community impact and support. We have done a informal outreach initiative, which has led to strong neighborhood support for the auto shop proposal. We have over 25 supporting residential neighbors, as well as 8 commercial nearby businesses in favor of the special exemption. And then just to maintain the active auto shop history has been known for an auto shop. We want to try to keep it like that, especially the way that we maintain the property. I think that it would be very beneficial because most people already know it as that. And a lot of members of the public didn't even know of the zoning change. And so that would then lead us into, if we were able to get this special exemption granted, we would be able to foster 10 to 15 jobs in the area, which include working in the shop itself / bringing other businesses to the shop, working with it. So it's just going to be fostering that ecosystem with the economy. Another thing, just a quick update, since our last time meeting with the council, we do have that community support. This is something that Councilwoman McBride wanted us to highlight for all the council, and I think this was highly important. It's something that we did is we needed to go and establish that community buy-in. That was one of the things that we established with that small group of council members, is they wanted us to go into the community and they wanted us to establish that support, and I believe that we did that. We attended a SOAR Association meeting back on August 12th. And having presented our request to the SOAR Neighborhood Association, we were successfully able to earn every present member support by addressing their questions, their concerns, anything that they had in mind for us, any feedback, and just giving them the opportunity to speak with us and just build those connections with us. And on top of that, we were able to get a letter of support. As you see, these two documents, the first one is all the present members that were at the meeting, as well as a letter of support from the president of the SOAR Association herself, just giving her endorsement, which affirms that our initiative aligns with the values and mission of the local community. So just having that letter of support really shows that the community is standing behind us, especially because we were just able to have that open conversation with them and establish that relationship on that side of town. And just once again, we're just thankful for Councilwoman McBride, just for her support and involvement over the past month. We were given the task of establishing a relationship with the community, and we wouldn't have been able to do that without her support. So just wanted to highlight that partnership that we were able to form in this process. Another thing that Councilwoman McBride recommended that we ended up going through is applying for the facade grant, which, if awarded, the grant funds will be used to repaint the building exterior, replace siding of the building, and install new signage for improved visibility, and while also enhancing exterior lighting for safety and curb appeal. Right now, we are currently awaiting the approval process, but have worked with and met with Councilwoman McBride just to ensure that we did this and that we set ourselves up for success in terms of trying our best to get approved for the grant. So hopefully we get approved through that and we're able to renovate the exterior of the property and just make it as best as it can be. And just some pictures just to show you and the public. We have maintained the property. A lot of properties kind of are just sitting, not being well maintained. However, we're in it for the long term. We have committed to just cleaning out the property, making sure that it's ready to go. Just maintaining the standards of the property was something that was really important to the owners along this entire process. So here's some pictures that you can look at from the inside as well as the outside. And then just wanted to compare to other neighboring properties. Like we said, we have gotten rid of cars that were in front of our property, things that were in the backyard of the property, and I'll show that in the next slide. However, you see some properties on the same street, they're just sitting, they're kind of boarded up, they're not being utilized. They're just space that could have gone to something else. And we don't want our space to be like that. We want our space to be a thing that's gonna drive community to it and just foster community, and people know us and people recognize us, and we're not just that empty space that people just drive by on a daily basis. And then on the final slide was the last thing that was recommended to us by the small group of council members. Besides establishing the relationship with the community, what are we doing to maintain our property? And some recent improvements include taking significant steps just to improve the condition and the appearance, removing overgrown trees and dense bush around the property. That's going to open up space and improve visibility. There used to be a lot of bushes there, and since the heat and the weather was able to kind of go on our side, we were able to take care of that. And then also clearing out a large amount of debris and discarded items from the backyard to restore the functionality of it. And the previous owner of the property left behind some things like scrap metal, scrap tire parts, some things that were just, it looked at a mess. And then somebody from earlier in the meeting that said that can attract other people just to start dumping in that property as well. And we want to maintain that standard. We want to make sure that our property looks clean and nobody would just feel like it's just a dump yard or a junkyard that people can just drive by and throw their things on with it. So we just want to maintain that standard, and then just maintaining the grass in the parking lot to just ensure a clean, safe, and welcoming environment. I think we put a lot of effort into that over the past month, just to maintain that and just to show how committed and dedicated we are to this process. And with that said, thank you so much once again to all the council members that were involved, as well as for Councilwoman McBride for all of her support. Thank you.
Thank you. Council members, any preliminary questions?
First of all, that was an awesome report. Thank you. What stood out for you the most through this whole process? You know, you came 4 weeks ago, we went to zoning, but you have a different look tonight. What stood out for y'all tonight?
This entire experience has been a great learning process, and it's something that we've been very fortunate for, because I think that if we would have a month ago just settled on a decision, yes or no, I think there wouldn't have been growth. There wouldn't have been an opportunity for a relationship to be developed. Now I feel like I know a majority of the council and a lot of people in the community, especially on that side of town, on the south side of town. They know us, they know our faces, they know who we are, and we're comfortable and we're confident to go and speak in front of that side of the neighborhood, because that's just more community to us. And yes, I stand in front of you. I might have looked a little bit different than I did a month ago. It's just really the appreciation and the level of growth and just community that we got to experience. It's been a very unique but grateful experience for the both of us.
I appreciate that, and I know you have multiple properties throughout the city and you manage. Hopefully, some of these same kind of lessons and things that can help you even manage them even better. And I appreciate working with you, and I really appreciate the way you follow through. It's a joy. So thank you for that, and I'm in support.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we'll go to the public hearing portion. Members of the public shall have the opportunity to address the council. We'll start with members in favor. Is there any members of the public in favor of Bill 4025, either in person or online at this time?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in favor of the bill.
Any members of the public against 4025, either in person or online?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in opposition of the bill.
Thank you. With that, we'll bring it back to council members. Any other questions, comments? Councilmember Nitzkotsky.
Thank you, Chair Warner. Yeah, I have to say that I was very impressed with that presentation. It was very focused. You took a lot of time, a lot of effort to put all of that information together and then to get up here and present it to us. And you do have a different look. I would say that your confidence is shining through, and just a commitment that you have shown of how you're going to do business with this property. It was very impressive. Very impressive. Thank you so much for taking the time to bring that back to us.
Councilmember McBride.
Thank you, Chair. I would just like to thank the presenter for the presentation and the hard work that they've done throughout this process, and for the many phone calls and emails and text messages and meetings that we've had over the course of the past month. Has been extremely productive. I did speak with the SOAR Neighborhood Association and also a member of 466 Works. And I do believe that the last phase of this process was for me to follow up with community investment to see how they can move forward with the facade grant. So Mr. Saleh, I'm looking forward to having a conversation with you in the course in between the after this meeting, so we can see how we can move forward with the facade grant. So I'm looking forward for that phone call and to see how we can move forward. And thank you for the opportunity, Chair.
Thank you. Any motions? Councilmember Thomas Morgan.
I too just want to thank you for the additional information that you provided. I really think, for me, neighborhood plans are important. And so, we know from your petition that this didn't align actually with the neighborhood plan that was set in 2015. Plans aren't meant to, sit on a shelf. Things do develop. But I think what was helpful for me, to be honest, was the fact that you were able to work with the council member in that district and meet with neighbors and explain your project and to have that neighborhood support. So I will say in general, this isn't, I believe in the important process that neighbors have in setting neighborhood plans, and we passed half a dozen of them last year. This came before my time, but really do appreciate the effort, and it's neighborhood associations and residents that really make a difference in how I vote. So thank you.
I'd just like to say thank you again for asking for input and listening and implementing it. And then also taking an abandoned building that was an eyesore, and we hope that you will do something very positive with it. So thank you very much.
Motion to send to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Second?
Motion and a second for a favorable. Clerk Toronto, can you please do a roll call vote?
Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember Nisgowsky,
Aye.
Councilmember Gooden Rogers.
Aye.
Can you
Aye.
repeat that?
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember McBride,
Aye.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson,
Aye.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Vice President Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
President Lee.
Aye.
9 ayes.
4025 has a favorable recommendation. Clerk Toronto, can you please give Bill 4625 a second reading?
Public hearing on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, amending the zoning ordinance for property located at 1432 South Bend Avenue, Councilmanic District Number 4 in the City of South Bend, Indiana.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm sorry, I need a committee report. Thank you.
Yeah, no
You
problem.
You were giving me a
I was
second.
go- I was
to do
gonna, yeah,
that,
yeah, no problem.
And I didn't take advantage of it. Councilmember Thomas Morgan, do we have a committee report?
Yes, sir. Bill 46-25 comes to the Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, council members. Mark Delastrito, zoning specialist with the city of South Bend with offices on the 14th floor. And there is as was stated, this is Bill 4625 for rezoning by the owner of 1432 South Bend Avenue to change the zoning of this property as well as the adjacent vacant lot from Urban Flex UF and Suburban Neighborhood 1 S1 to Urban Neighborhood 3 or U3, as shown here. So going back to at least 2007, there was what appeared to be a single-family home on this property for a number of years, although it was owned by two independent educational organizations from 1994 to 2022, suggesting that the home's use may not have been purely residential. That home was demolished sometime between 2022 and 2025, and now the petitioner is proposing a new residential development that would span both parcels, and here's a site plan of that shown here. And then here's an elevation looking northeast from South Bend Avenue. So, excuse me, because, yeah, the development would be spanning both parcels, it makes sense to bring both of them under the same zoning designation. Rezoning to U3 and allowing for higher density housing would help further objective H1 from the city's comprehensive plan, which calls upon the city to ensure that an adequate supply of housing is available in the city, as well as strategy 3 from the 2022 Northeast Neighborhood Plan, which outlines a desire to develop and preserve housing in the neighborhood. Additionally, this rezoning would align with the future zoning map in the Northeast Neighborhood Plan, which does call for both of these parcels to be rezoned to U3. And I'll just bring up as well, because it came up in the Zoning and Annexation Committee before, the variances, there were two variances granted by the Plan Commission last week that are not under consideration right now. Right now it's just a rezoning, but there were two variances, one for a 5th floor on the property. So this building will still be will be at the 55-foot height requirement in U3. So it won't be going over the foot height there, but it did get a variance for a 5th floor, which is a community space that's actually on top of the building, but it's set back in a way that it can't be seen from the street and it's buffered from neighboring parcels. And also there was a variance granted for building width. So the facade along Garland Street, from my cursor here going to the corner was 127 feet, which was longer than the 120 feet allowed under the ordinance, and that was granted as well. So just wanted to provide that bit of additional context.
And as you said, those were approved by the BZA. What we're doing is in essence down zoning one of the parcels and up zoning another parcel.
Correct, yes. Yeah, just because that came up before, wanted to address that, but.
Thank you. And our petitioner, Mr. Danch.
Thank you. Mike Danch from Dan Charter and Associates, 1643 Commerce Drive here in South Bend, representing the petitioner, which is Brendan's Walk Holdings LLC. And as the staff had said, what we're actually doing, what we just mentioned, is actually downzoning half the site from the UF district down to the U3. And the back portion where we have the parking area that you see here is actually going to be rezoned from the S1, which is a single family district in the city, up to the U3. The city likes to have for all development a consistent zoning across the properties. So that's the request for this particular one. So we have a single zoning classification. The U3 is actually less intense than the UF district that the city had on that property that was fronting on South Bend Avenue. And as the staff had said, what this is for is a condominium development. The building itself would have 4 floors of the condominium. They talked about that 5th floor. The 5th floor would still be under the 55-foot height, which is allowed under the U3 category. But what it's designed to do is to be a gathering spot for the condominium association for the owners of the 30 condos that will be in the site. As staff had mentioned, this is right on the corner, the southeast corner of South Bend Avenue and Garland Street. It takes up approximately 6/10 of an acre. So that's what you're seeing there. The building will be toward the front portion of the site. So the facade of the building will be toward both South Bend Avenue and a portion of it will be along Garland Street. What we've done is take the parking area and we put that behind the site. Under the zoning category for U3, because of the location of where that parking area would be, there'll be additional parking or a screening that they call for as a type 2. So in essence, what will end up happening is that parking area will be screened from the adjacent residential by a fence and also landscaping, so that there won't be any direct view from the house to the south or the ones to the east toward this particular property. It will have that screening, and we will also be providing the other additional landscaping along the street, which you see here is the streetscape of the trees and landscaping around the building as well. There would be only one access point for this property. It would be off of Garland Street. Obviously, South Bend Avenue is a state highway, and because of the location of where Garland Street is, the state highway would not give you access directly onto South Bend Avenue. That would be too much of a conflict. So the way we have done that is to put the parking area and the access off of Garland. Basically the utilities for this particular site, just so we can go over that, because there was something that one of the neighbors had a concern about, and that's the sanitary sewer connection. They were afraid with the sewer line that is on Garland Street. That's an older neighborhood, so there's a sewer line there that the city probably hasn't gotten to and redone and brought it up to standards and have done the separation between the sanitary sewer and the storm sewer. Our site will actually hook up to the main that's in South Bend Avenue, which is a newer main for the city that basically drains a large area. So there shouldn't be any impact for this particular development on any houses that are along Garland Avenue. I just wanted to bring that up. What we had also done as part of this project is that we had done a Zoom meeting and notified neighbors within 300 feet of this particular site so that they could access that meeting and ask any questions that they had about that project. We had one owner that tried to access that. I believe his name was Mr. Robert Bell. His wife was at the Plan Commission meeting last week. I talked with her after the meeting. They own a property that's directly south of this particular site. So I went over with her the type of landscaping and what we would do to minimize that. They use that house as a rental house, but there is a family there with 2 small children. So I think with the fencing and the landscaping, that will definitely help out as well. What we would hope for is that the council would give us a favorable recommendation. We went to the NNZO. We had sent the entire package to them. I didn't hear anything back from them about any concern. There was a comprehensive plan for the NNZO in this area for that overlay. This actually meets their requirement. They also wanted to see that corner piece downzoned from UF to the U3 category, so that we have done that as well. And we would hope that we've answered, hopefully, everybody's questions on this. And if you have any for me, or Sam Lima is here from Kill Architecture. They're the architects that actually designed the building. So if you have a specific question about the architecture of the building or how the use is, he would be able to answer those questions as well. If you have any questions for me, I'd be glad to answer them.
Thank you. I will also note there was a favorable letter of support from the NNRO
Yes,
that was
yes.
came out today. So,
Okay.
okay, council members, any questions? Councilmember.
Thank you, Mr. Dench. So I appreciate you following up with the lady at the zoning meeting.
Yes.
And so you are now saying that she and her husband are at peace with everything now. Could you elaborate on that a little bit more?
I would hope that she is happy with that. I did give her a site plan so she could
Okay.
take a look at that and see how the development worked. And I told her that I would also take a look into the zoning. And because the way the zoning is for the city of South Bend or U3, when you have a parking lot, if a parking lot is what we call abutting a property line between a U3 or an S1, which in this particular case it is, the city requires you to have a little bit more dense type of landscaping. They have you add that fence factor as well, which just adds an additional buffer. And one of the other things that I had told her is that also if there's any site lighting that would be done here, all the site lighting has to meet the city standards, which is fully shielded, cut-off lighting for any parking areas or any light packages around the building. And that's to make sure that there isn't any basically light spillage from the property onto any adjacent property. And one of the other things we have to do, because you can see on this particular development, we have to meet all the city standards for drainage. We can't allow any water to go off of this particular site onto any adjacent site. The nice area about here that we have is that we have really sandy soils. So we'll be able to work with the city engineering department, and we will actually have a drainage system underneath the parking area. And there's an infiltration rate with the sandy soils. That water will go in. There won't be a problem with it spilling off onto any adjacent property.
Thank you for meeting with her. There's one last thing. I'm sorry I wasn't able to make it this afternoon, but the top floor,
Yes,
there was some, we had a discussion about that.
yes.
And the person who was online shared that,
Yeah, we had the owner also send you some information. I hope you shared it with the
Yes.
council members, that with the fifth floor where we're going to have the gathering area for the residents for the condos, there's going to be a condominium association, just like a homeowners association. There'll be very strict rules and regulations that'll abide for the use of that particular part of the building, that it's only allowed to be used by the residents of the building or their friends. So there's no outside people that would be able to use that particular part. And there would be restrictions on the hours that it would be used and any kind of noise factor that would go with that as well.
thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it.
And I
Thank
think
you for
one
sending
of
me
the
all
other
the
ones that you had asked for was how they had marketed this. This is strictly for
Yes, for the-
condominium owners. That's it. This is not student housing.
This is not
or
for
anything
student
like
housing. We
that.
talked about that.
And no short-term
appreciate it.
rentals as well.
Thank you for following up on all that. And I
welcome.
appreciate your work in reaching out to the neighbors as well.
Any other council members with questions?
Can I ask a question?
Councilmember Gooden Rogers.
Yes, I would like to know what is the price range for these condominiums?
These are probably going to, I haven't seen, just so you know, I haven't seen the end result. This project will probably be in the range of about a $50 million project that they're going to be doing. Most of the condos in this particular area around there are probably approaching $1 million plus.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Because I couldn't.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson.
Yes, if you could answer that question again, that Councilwoman Gooden Rogers, I couldn't hear you. I need you to speak in a mic if you
Oh, no,
would, please.
Yeah, the the cost of this project is probably going to be around $50 million.
Okay.
And so the cost for the condos and most of the condos that are kind of going in this particular area or around the neighborhood are now approaching $1 million.
One condo, $1 million?
Condo,
Oh,
$1
okay.
million, yes.
I didn't hear it right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my hearing aid went.
I grew up in this
Sign me
area.
up.
That's a change.
Just my chump change.
Okay, with that, don't see any other questions. We'll go to the public portion of the hearing. At this time, do we have any members of the public wishing to speak in favor of Bill 4625, either in person or online?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in favor of the bill.
Okay. This time, do we have any members of the public wishing to speak against Bill 4625, either in person or online?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in opposition of the bill.
Okay, with that, we'll go back to council members. Any other questions, comments? Councilmember Thomas Morgan.
Mr. Dash, thank you very much for the additional information that you provided. Actually didn't get that information about the rooftop, so just appreciate more detail on that. I'm always in favor of downzoning, so going from flex to U3, I'm in full support of and makes sense to make the two lots the same. I think another consideration for me was just your clarification that these are owner occupied units and not rental. And I too am just confirming communication I received from the NNRO that they have no objection at this time.
So with that stated, I'd like to make a motion to send this bill to the full council with favorable recommendation.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on 4625. Clerk Toronto, can you please do a roll call?
Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember McBride,
Aye.
Councilmember Good Rogers, Councilmember Good Rogers,
You're muted.
you're muted.
There you go.
Repeat that, please.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Nisgowsky,
Aye.
Councilmember Bowden Simpson,
Aye.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Vice President Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
President Lee,
Aye.
9 ayes.
4625 will go forward with a favorable recommendation. 4725 was tabled to September 22nd. So at this time, Clerk Toronto, can you please give a second reading to Bill 4825?
Public hearing on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, amending the historic landmark designation at 528 South 80th Street, located within the City of South Bend, Indiana.
Thank you. This was heard in community investment this afternoon and comes forward with a favorable recommendation. Welcome, sir.
Ross Van Overberg, Historic Preservation Administrator with offices in the 14th floor of this building. Before you is an amendment to a previous ordinance designating the property at 528 South Eddy Street as a historic landmark. This amendment before you is to right-size the legal description. When this ordinance was created in 2000, the legal description used at the time was the entire parcel, which included school field, the maintenance building, the soccer field, the baseball field, the parking lot.
At the time, in our records, all of the information regarding this ordinance for landmark focused solely on the Jefferson School building. And so working with the school corporation, we wanted to right size the legal description so that it makes it easier for them to maintain the rest of the property without needing to go through our department for approvals. So that's what we're asking for, is a favorable review on this amendment. Thank you.
Thank you. And our petitioners, welcome.
Good evening, council members. My name is Joseph Summers, and I'm the Executive Director for the South Bend Community School Corporation Facilities and Management. Behind me is Mr. James Mason, who is the Director of Custodial Services, and Ms. Kendra Key, who is our legal counsel. And once again, we are asking for a request for the approval of Bill 4825 to amend the historical landmark designation of the property 528 Eddy Street. Kendra.
So we really appreciate, the school corporation really appreciates working with Historical Preservation Commission. This is correction, as it was, as he categorized it, is one that's really helpful for the school. Right now, we have a facilities maintenance building with windows, which you may be familiar with, windows that they were trying to complete that project. But the windows run afoul of the ordinance for the entire parcel, which means basically those windows for that building don't meet the qualifications for the Jefferson building, which is much, much older. As it stands, looking at the ordinance as it's written, it talks all about the actual Jefferson building and doesn't mention any of the other parcel. I really appreciate, like I said before, working with the Historic Preservation Commission. They very much understood kind of the quandary that we found ourselves in, where we were looking to make some changes to the parcel around the historic building, yet we had this ordinance that would not allow us to do that and comply with the ordinance. This is not the only such building that is like that for the school corporation. We have a couple of others that will be coming before you, where we're in this very same predicament, where the ordinance description literally is just the entire parcel, and there are other things on that parcel now. So really appreciate all of you and the time and attention and the learning opportunity this has been for the school corporation and working with the Historical Preservation Commission.
And just to note, Mr. Summers and myself are very new to our leadership positions in the facilities department. And again, it's very much a learning experience, but we have been with the corporation for many years, and we are committed to doing things the right way, using historical preservation as an asset to teach us how we can best maintain these buildings and the look for those in the future.
Thank you. Council members, any questions?
Before we continue, just want to share that any conflicts, I'm employed by the South Bend schools, but I'm in favor of all of this. So just want to put that on the record.
If you could, for people that weren't here this morning, just share about a little bit about the upgrades you're going to do. And I too am employed by the South Bend Community School Corporation and attended Jefferson School. Live in that area.
Thank you, Councilwoman Bolton Simpson. We are planning to simply upgrade the windows at our service building, and we want to make that look, as you may have seen it, as Kendra spoke about just a little bit ago. We have a quarter of that building done where that work had stopped, and we'd like to continue with that work on our service building, which will not impact any of the historical building of Jefferson. Like Mr. Mason said, we plan to preserve the historical value and significance of Jefferson School.
Thank you.
Councilmember Nick Skotsky.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm understanding that in section 2 of the ordinance, so it said be removed from the historic landmark designation. Is it what's the 3.42 acres? I mean, and I wasn't at the committee meeting, so my apologies. Are we saying that is what
So that is
total?
the entire parcel includes the school field, the maintenance building, the baseball field, the soccer field, all of that is all included as a historic landmark. So they want to do some work on the maintenance building and changing the windows. They can't do it because it's a historic landmark. So this carves all of that other out and just makes the school itself, the school building, the historic landmark.
Not
And
the
carves
total.
out the rest of the acreage,
Okay, not the total amount.
not the total parcel, no.
Okay.
That is correct. Yes, the existing ordinance designates all of Eddy Street to the alley behind Sunnymead, or Sunnyside, all the way up, no, Sunnymead, all the way up to Sunnyside, all the way over to South Street. It is the entire parcel. So the new legal description simply goes from the corner of Eddy and South, and just around the school building itself, eliminating the parking lot, the ball field, school field, and the maintenance building.
Thank you, Chair.
You're welcome. Okay, with that, we'll go to the public portion. Any members of the public wishing to speak in favor of 4825, either in person or online?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in favor of the
Thank you.
bill.
Any members of the public wishing to speak against 4825 at this time, either in person or online?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in opposition of the bill.
Thank you. And we'll bring it back to council members. Any final questions, comments?
Motion to approve this bill to the full, bring the full council with a favorable recommendation. Fix all that up.
I believe Councilmember White was a second, so we have a second. So a motion and a second on a favorable. Clerk Toronto, can you please do a roll call vote for?
Councilmember Nisgowsky,
Aye.
Councilmember McBride,
Aye.
Councilmember Gooden Rogers,
Aye.
Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Vice President Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
President Lee,
Aye.
9 ayes.
Thank you. With that, 4825 will go forward with a favorable recommendation. I will now entertain a motion to rise from the committee of the whole and report back to the council.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Clerk Toronto, can you please do a roll call vote on that?
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson,
Aye.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Councilmember Nisgowsky,
Aye.
Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember Gooden Rogers,
Aye.
Councilmember McBride,
Aye.
Vice President Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
President Lee,
Aye.
9 ayes.
Committee of the whole is now adjourned.
Full council is now back in session. This is the portion of our meeting where bills are given a third reading and action is taken regarding the bills that were heard in the committee of the whole. Clerk Toronto, would you please give Bill 40-25 a third reading?
Third reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, approving a petition of the Advisory Board of Zoning Appeals for the property located at 1527 Michigan Street, Councilmanic District Number 2 in the City of South Bend, Indiana.
Councilor Warner, is there a recommendation from the committee of the whole?
4025 comes from the committee of the whole with a favorable recommendation.
I will now entertain a motion regarding Bill 40-25.
Move for passage.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Clerk Toronto, please call the roll.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson,
Aye.
Councilmember McBride,
Aye.
Councilmember Gooden Rogers,
Aye.
Councilmember Nisgowsky,
Aye.
Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Vice President Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
President Lee,
Aye.
9 ayes.
40-25 is passed. Clerk Toronto, would you give Bill 4625 a third reading?
Third reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, amending the zoning ordinance for property located at 1432 South Bend Avenue, Councilmanic District Number 4 in the City of South Bend, Indiana.
Councilor Warner, is there a recommendation from the committee of the whole?
4625 comes with a favorable recommendation.
I will now entertain a motion.
Move for passage?
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Clerk Toronto, please call the roll.
Councilmember McBride,
Aye.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson,
Aye.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Councilmember Nisgowsky,
Aye.
Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Gooden Rogers,
Aye.
Vice President Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
President Lee.
Aye.
9 ayes.
All right, 4625 is now passed. Clerk Toronto, would you please give 4825, I'm sorry. Yep, 4825, a third reading.
Third reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, amending the historic landmark designation at 528 South Eddy Street located within the City of South Bend, Indiana.
Council Warner, is there a recommendation from the Committee of the Whole?
Committee of the Whole sends it with a favorable recommendation.
All right, I'll now entertain a motion.
For passage?
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Clerk Toronto, please call the roll.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Councilmember Nisgowsky,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson,
Aye.
Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember McBride,
Aye.
Councilmember Gooden Rogers,
Aye.
Vice President Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
President Lee.
Aye.
9 ayes.
All right, 4825 is now passed. Resolutions. This is the portion of the council's meeting where the common council hears bills filed as proposed resolutions. The title of each proposed resolution is read by the city clerk. A report from the committee chairperson of the standing committee to which the bill was referred to for an advisory review and recommendation is then given. During the public portion on each proposed resolution, members of the public are invited to address the council. We ask that you please give your name, address, and comments on the bill. If you have any questions, they will be addressed by the presenter during their rebuttal, and each member of the public is limited to 5 minutes, with those speaking in favor going first, followed by those in opposition, then a 5-minute rebuttal for the presenter of the bill. 2537, is there a committee report?
Need to read the bill.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
2537, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, approving an order of the South Bend Plan Commission approving a certain declaratory resolution for the River West Development Area adopted by the South Bend Redevelopment Commission.
Is there a committee report?
There is 2537 was heard by Community Investment about 3 hours ago and comes forward with a favorable recommendation.
All right, we see that our petitioner is here. We ask that you state your name and address for the record.
Thank you, Council. Joseph Molnar, Assistant Director of Growth and Opportunity with offices on the 14th floor of the County City Building. As was just stated, before you is a resolution to approve the Plan Commission order adopting and amending the River West Development Area and establishing the new Lincoln and Kennedy Park Residential Housing Development Program. Just a little bit of background on how far this process has gone so far. So today would be approving the resolution by council, but this has already been to the Linden Legacy Neighborhood Association meeting with discussion with them on June 2nd with city staff. And then there was also a separate meeting as well with city staff to discuss the establishment of this residential TIF. On June 12th, the RDC met to authorize the beginning of the process, and on July 24th held a public hearing on the approval of the residential TIF, and on August 18th, South Bend Plan Commission approved their declaratory resolution. If the council would take favorable action this evening, it would go one final time to the Redevelopment Commission on September 11th, confirming that resolution finally, as well as a public hearing and vote on the final approval. So just very briefly, because I know most of you were at committee before, but what is TIF when we say Tax Increment Finance District? TIF is a financing tool used to help fund public improvements and investments in infrastructure and other economic development improvements by allowing the capture of the incremental growth on new development. So when a new property is built, the increased increment of assessed value is captured and put into this separate fund for the specific use of that area. Taxes on the incremental assessed value are captured and then can be dedicated to eligible projects throughout the entire TIF district. Most of the TIF districts and the TIF districts we're most familiar with the city of South Bend are commercial districts. So even though they might encompass areas with single family residential, they are typically only capturing the commercial growth and not residential growth. So what is a residential TIF program and why is this a little bit different than how we've normally operated? Residential TIF specifically captures new single family construction, while a commercial TIF, as I said, does not. It does not, however, capture the incremental growth and assessed value of existing homes. So it only captures growth in new construction of single family houses, as well as new commercial and industrial growth. But the vast majority of the area proposed here is single family zoned, even though there might be a few small commercial and industrial properties sprinkled in throughout the district proposed. But what can that increment and that revenue be used for? It can be used for a variety of things, including infrastructure, so new streets, new sidewalks, new streetscape projects, community assets such as new park centers, new venues, new fire stations. The new Dream Center was partially funded through TIF revenues, for example, and then development projects as well, actually helping developers push projects across the finish line. So the proposed residential TIF boundary is as shown here. So it's basically spans, this is City Cemetery here. So the neighborhood just north of City Cemetery, known as Lincoln Park neighborhood, all the way west to Kennedy School. And then in the middle about is the Dream Center. The reason that it kind of jags a little bit is because it actually does not provide any value to the TIF to have blocks and properties within the TIF that are already occupied and that there's very few vacant lots. It really only benefits if there are a large concentration of vacant lots. And it was the advice from our legal and financial teams to try to at least get to 50% of the parcels being vacant, which is the case here. So the properties in gray are occupied. So that's either there's a house on them or a person owns that property, the next adjacent property as well, and at least one of those parcels has a structure on it. But the 50% of the parcels, including the dark green and light green, are vacant, and this is one of the highest concentrations of vacancies in the city of South Bend, which is why we think it is a good opportunity to use this tool, which was updated recently by state statute. And so why here, like I said, residential TIFs are useful in areas with a high concentration of vacant lots. We're typically fine when this is done elsewhere in the state. It's really done as more, a new annexed neighborhood out in the edges of town. Say they'd annex a cornfield, establish a residential TIF, and then they'd be able to generate all the revenue because there were no houses, and now there's 100 or 200 houses. It's not used very often in established neighborhoods, but because this neighborhood has such a high concentration of vacant lots, that's actually an asset to it in this case. Also, why here is because the city has existing city partnerships with groups such as Intend Indiana and South Bend Mutual Homes that are building homes in the neighborhood already. And so we know that new incremental growth is coming. And by establishing this residential TIF, it would ensure that the tax revenue that's generated by those new homes that are being built today gets put right back into the neighborhood to benefit the residents that are already there. So just very briefly on Intend, which is one of the catalysts for this. Intend Indiana is an Indianapolis-based nonprofit housing developer that partnered with the city in building 92 new homes over the next 5 years. They've already got about 10 or so under construction along Blaine and Lincoln Way West, and I highly recommend taking a drive down there if you haven't. It's really wonderful to see 8 to 10 new houses on a street where I think there was one house left on, where there used to be 30 houses. So it's really powerful to see. But what this residential TIF will do is it'll help capture the new tax revenue from those 92 homes and be allowed to put it right back into the district that would be established here. Here's just a few photos of the Intend project using vastly the pre-approved City of South Bend housing plans so that they fit in with the neighborhood as well. So what this resolution would be doing in the overall plan is some of this property in yellow already is, the yellow is already the existing River West boundaries, and it includes some of this area already, but it's part of the commercial TIF. So it's not collecting that increment currently on single family residential properties. But some of this property currently is not in the River West TIF at all. So that would be the blue here. So first step, it would be adding these blue districts to the River West TIF, and then setting aside the areas that are already in the River West TIF as well, and creating this new residential housing development area. And so what that would look like here on the left, that's the overall River West TIF, and on the right would be the actual set aside for the new residential boundary in orange and red there. So that specifically would be set aside as its own separate portion of the River West TIF, where those funds would only be able to be spent for the benefit of that area. But very briefly, I was trying to explain this the most simple way possible. And so I came up with this, what I think is a cute little diagram to show. So on the left here, you can imagine we have the existing Lincoln and Kennedy Park neighborhoods, but we know that half of those lots are vacant in the neighborhood. And that is something that we're dealing with. And we're building at least 92 new homes. Hopefully we'll build many new homes, more than that, but we know we're at least building 92 new homes on those vacant lots. And those 92 homes will pay property taxes, much more property taxes than the vacant lots we're paying. And what this will allow us to do is put those property taxes right back into the neighborhood itself. So we receive a lot of questions when we do these TIF boundary changes, and especially this being a new residential version where typically we do commercial, we might get these questions again. But some common ones we get from residents or owners of properties that are now in the TIF are such as, will my property taxes increase and or tax rate change because the property is now in a TIF district? The answer is no. The TIF district has nothing to do with the tax rate or the assessed value of your property. Will the city be buying my property? No, this does not give the city the right to eminent domain your property or anything like that. So the city's not looking to buy your property. And finally, will the permitted use of the zoning of my property change? No, the only way for the zoning change is to come before you, as you've seen tonight on zoning matters. So specifically, Bill number 2537 updates the River West Development Plan to add the residential TIF area for Lincoln and Kennedy Park, and it approves the development plan specific for that residential TIF as an exhibit and part of the overall River West plan. It approves expanding the overall River West TIF area and outlines the new residential TIF area and legal description, and establishes the permissible projects that this increment can be spent on in that specific district. That includes transportation enhancements such as curbs, sidewalks, traffic lights, etc., utility improvements for water and sewer, park improvements, and as well as development projects. It establishes the base assessment date of which the new increment generated on top of that will begin on January 1st, 2025. So if this was approved, it would actually be able to capture those houses that are being built right now and make sure that those tax revenues from those new homes are going right back into the neighborhood and being able to benefit the current residents. And the residential TIF would extend for 20 years from the January 1st, 2025 date. But I'm happy to answer any questions that council might have on this. And then this would just be the final slide with the property outlined again.
Council members, do you have any questions? Yes.
Mr. Molnar, I asked this question in committee, but I think it's worth again, are there other examples in the city where we've used residential TIF?
Yeah, and so I even confirmed that in the break between committee and council. So the only other time the city's done any type of residential TIF type program was near Eddy Street about 16, 17 years ago during the very beginnings of Eddy Street. That was not this program though. It was slightly different and had much different calculations and things. The state statute was changed a few years ago, making these relatively easier to do than they were before. And so this would be the first time the city is exploring this under its new format.
Thank you.
Now, how will you communicate the message to residents to not feel like they're building these new houses? Now I'm not gonna be able to afford to live in my neighborhood. What ways are you guys going to encourage or to get the message out to residents again, like you presented to us tonight, that you're your property assessments are not going to change. It's only this for these new houses that are being built.
Yes, that's a great question. So state law has us send letters to all the residents and property owners that will now be part of this TIF district. In addition to that very legal notice for hearing letter, we actually send a much more reader-friendly city kind of Q&A, and it has those questions I had right on there and has some more information kind of in very plain spoken English about what this is, why the city is looking to do it, to benefit your neighborhood overall. It says, will this affect my property taxes? No. Does the city want to buy my property? No. It tries to be very direct. So we include that with the more formal notice of public hearing to make sure that people have good information. In that letter too is my personal office line as well as my personal email address for the city. And I'm sure I'll be fielding calls when the letters go out this week for that final public hearing. But we really try to do our best to explain to residents, we're doing this to help benefit your neighborhood and make sure that when you see new houses coming up, down the street from you, not only does that make your neighborhood more, have more viability and more, vitality, but also the revenue generated from that house is going to go right back into your neighborhood as well, to really make sure that the current residents benefit from the growth as well.
We want to go online to our online council members. Are there any questions?
I don't have any at this time, no.
All right, now we'll go to the public hearing portion. Clerk Toronto, is there anyone from the public wishing to speak in favor?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in favor of the bill.
Are there any wishing to speak in opposition?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in opposition of this bill.
Are there any council members that would like to make any comments?
I would,
Yes.
I would like
Councilwoman
to say
Ophelia
that,
Gooden-Rogers.
that this is a part of the Linden legacy and that they are, something happened there. And they are very much aware of what's going on. Another big help to them has also been Miss Mary McAfee, and they just stay in touch and they keep the Linden legacy very well abreast of what's going on.
All right, thank you. All right, if there's no other questions, I will now entertain a motion.
Move for passage.
Second?
There's been a motion and a second. Clerk Toronto, please call the roll.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson,
Aye.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Councilmember Niskoski,
Aye.
Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember Gooden-Rogers,
Aye.
Councilmember McBride,
Aye.
Vice President Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
President Lee,
Aye.
9 ayes.
All right, resolution 2537 is passed. Clerk Toronto, please give resolution 2538 a reading.
A resolution confirming the adoption of a declaratory resolution designating certain areas within the city of South Bend, Indiana, commonly known as 701 West Chippewa Avenue, South Bend, Indiana, 46614, an economic revitalization area for purposes of an 8-year real property tax abatement for South Bend Chippewa LLC and South Bend Chippewa ACG LLC.
All right, is there a committee report?
Yes, 2538 was heard earlier this evening by the Community Investment Committee and comes forward with a favorable recommendation.
Petitioner, we see that you're here. Please state your name and address for the record.
Eric Glavich, Director of Growth and Opportunity with offices on the 14th floor of this building. Council members, thank you for considering this confirming resolution for tax abatement. The council adopted a declaratory resolution back in June. Typically, we bring the confirming resolutions at the following meeting, but we had worked with the petitioner in this case on some of the details and scoping associated with this project. This tax abatement would support investments in what used to be a Studebaker facility at 701 West Chippewa on the very far southwest portion of the city. I had mentioned scoping of the project So just a quick overview of what the project is. The owner of the facility would like to invest significant amount of money to improve both what is currently leasable space, the overall, the building as a whole, but then lead into phase two, which is removing 80-year-old aviation test cells on the back end of the property. These cells make the property, that portion of the property, unleasable. So in order for that to be activated, they would have to remove these aviation cells and then remodel that portion of the building. It's a very costly process. Just at the beginning phases, they're spending over $7 million just in the just through the first phase. Overall, the project is going to be in excess of 11, possibly more $1 million for the totality of the project. These are just estimates for what the tax abatement would look like. The petitioner qualifies for an 8-year industrial real property tax abatement. These are estimates because they say they are based on the numbers, the very conservative numbers that we had used. So just looking at, these conservative estimates, we're looking to see an increase of about $150,000 a year in property taxes that this property would bring in. Over the 8 years of the tax abatement, we would abate roughly $100,000. This is a win for the city. This is a property that we're happy to incentivize improvements in. I think we know, I think we have great familiarity with this property. So we ask for your support in supporting this tax abatement. I do know that the owners, South Bend Chippewa, do have a representative online, and I think that I'm safe to say that they would be able to answer any questions you might have. Thanks.
Okay, yep, petitioner, or if you're online, please state your name and address and give your comments.
Sure, thanks again, Eric. And again, my name is Matt DeVecchio. I'm a VP Senior Portfolio Manager for IRG Realty Advisors on behalf of South Bend Chippewa LLC, as was mentioned at 701 West Chippewa, South Bend. I think Eric did a good job of laying this out. I would just like to add that IRG is a long-term partner, significant investments of its own capital. We're engaging many local contractors and working to make this site competitive for new employers. In short, this redevelopment preserves the historic site that you're all familiar with, creates lasting economic opportunities, and really positions South Bend for growth. We certainly appreciate your consideration of our request for this real estate tax abatement, and we're certainly here to answer any remaining questions that the group may have.
If I could add one comment. I mentioned that these are conservative estimates. They are, there's estimates, and just as a reminder, through tax abatement resolutions, what the Common Council is approving are percentage deductions of incremental assessed value. So we do our best to come up with estimated dollar numbers, but ultimately, the more money that is put into this project, you would hope to see increased assessed values go even higher. And as those assessed values go higher, the benefits of the abatement increase, because what the abatement resolution does is deduce the incremental assessed values.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Davis.
Yes, thank you. I went by there yesterday. I'm on that side of town all the time. Question, in terms of the sidewalks, would there be any sidewalks that would be there that are going to be added because of the fact that right now they're on Chippewa? For the people that would be moving into that area, to be able to walk over to the stores, really the eating places, the bowling alleys, the movie, whatever. Right now, if they were to actually walk, there's no sidewalks there because the way it is. But is there any thought behind all of that, putting that together, or what are some things regarding that?
I'll have to get back to you on that, just because I'm not part of the plan review process that would go into the designs. I know that's zoning and planning. So if you're okay with it, I could check with my colleagues.
I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm just thinking about it. I mean, as they come in, I mean, if they have, and it would be nice if they put something, because I'm glad they're setting this. I mean, I think it's a great location to really do what they're doing. And if they just can tie this to foot traffic along with the driving traffic, I think it would be something really good from that whole standpoint to look at. But no,
I will ask my colleagues.
I appreciate your kindness. Thank you.
Anybody else? If not, we'll go to the public hearing portion. Clerk Toronto, is there anyone from the public looking to speak in favor?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in favor of the bill.
Is there anyone looking to speak in opposition?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in opposition of the bill.
At this time, the public hearing portion is closed. Council members, are there any comments?
Move for passage.
Wait, hold on. Let's check with our online
Okay.
council members. Okay.
No.
All right. Now,
Now move for passage.
Second.
there's been a motion and a second. Clerk Toronto, please call the roll.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson,
Aye.
Councilmember McBride,
Aye.
Councilmember Warner, Councilmember Nisgowsky,
Aye.
Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Gooden Rogers,
Aye.
Vice President Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
President Lee,
Aye.
9 ayes.
2538 is passed. Bills on first reading. Clerk Toronto, would you please give Bill 49-25 a first reading?
First reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, to vacate the following described property. Various pieces of property near the intersection of Lincoln Way West, Leland Avenue, and West Marion Street.
I'd like to entertain a motion to send to the Public Works and Property Vacation Committee for public hearing and third reading on September the 8th, 2025.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Clerk Toronto, please call the roll.
Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember Nisgowsky,
Aye.
Councilmember Gooden Rogers,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember McBride,
Aye.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson,
Aye.
Councilmember Warner, Vice President Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
President Lee,
Aye.
9 ayes.
49-25 is passed. Clerk Toronto, please give 50-25 a first reading.
First reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, to vacate the following described property: an east-west substreet extending easterly from Emerson Forest Parkway and 95 feet south of Irvington Drive in Woodhaven section on one subdivision.
I'd like to entertain a motion to send to the Public Works and Property Vacation Committee for public hearing and third reading on 9/8/25.
So move.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Clerk Toronto, please call the roll.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Gooden Rogers,
Aye.
Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson,
Aye.
Councilmember McBride,
Aye.
Councilmember Nisgowsky,
Aye.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Vice President Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
President Lee,
Aye.
9 ayes.
50-25 has been sent to Public Works and Property Vacation. Clerk Toronto, please give 51-25 a first reading.
First reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, amending Chapter 2, Article 1, Sections 2-12.1.1 through including Article 1, Section 2-2, 1.7 to update proceedings for appointment to and duties of the South Bend Common Council Youth Advisory Council.
I'd like to entertain a motion to send to the Residential Neighborhoods Committee for public hearing and third reading on September the 8th, 2025.
So move.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Clerk Toronto, please call the roll.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson,
Aye.
Councilmember Warner, Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember Gooden Rogers,
Aye.
Councilmember Nisgowsky,
Aye.
Councilmember McBride,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Vice President Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
President Lee,
Aye.
9 ayes.
5125 has been sent to the Residential Neighborhoods Committee. All right, Clerk Toronto, please give 52-25 a first reading.
First reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, approving a petition of the Advisory Board of Zoning Appeals for the property located at 1133 Harvey Street, 520 and 522 Blaine Avenue, Councilmanic District Number 1 in the City of South Bend, Indiana.
I'd like to entertain a motion to send to the South Bend Board of Zoning Appeals for public hearing on September the 2nd, 2025, and to the Zoning and Annexation Committee for public hearing and third reading on September 8th, 2025.
So move.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Clerk Toronto, please call the roll.
Councilmember McBride,
Aye.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson,
Aye.
Councilmember Warner, Councilmember Nisgowsky,
Aye.
Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Gooden Rogers,
Aye.
Vice President Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
President Lee,
Aye.
9 ayes.
5225 will be sent to the Board of Zoning Appeals. Clerk Toronto, please give 53-25 a first reading.
First reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, amending Chapter 2, Article 1, Sections 2-12.1.15C and 2-12.1.17A to add the duty to review all law enforcement recordings relevant to any complaint filed with the Community Police Review Board to the duties of the Community Police Review Board respectively.
I would like to entertain a motion to send to the Community Relations Committee for public hearing and third reading on September the 8th, 2025.
So move.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Community Relations. Clerk Toronto, please call the roll.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Gooden Rogers,
Aye.
Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember Nisgowsky,
Aye.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Councilmember McBride,
Aye.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson,
Aye.
Vice President Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
President Lee,
Aye.
9 ayes.
Right, it'll be sent, Bill 5325 was sent to Community Relations Committee. All right, any unfinished business?
Oh.
If
Yeah.
not, any new business?
Yes, I have.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry. Okay.
Sorry.
May I, Chair?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Old business, I just want to thank the people that came out for the Fifth District Spruce Up. I deemed that it was a great success. I think it was Karen White's team, Councilwoman Karen White's team, that found an illegal dump in our area, and I believe it's called the NEAT team. They cleaned it up right away, so it was a great success, and we're looking forward to doing another one. And then I want to also thank Public Works for finally getting those alleyway between Ekman and Irvington and the 400 block regraded. They look wonderful, and the residents are so happy, and they're not getting their cars damaged by those deep potholes. So thank you.
All right, thank you.
No business. I just wanted to state that Health and Public Safety had met on August 14th, and I felt had a really good discussion. We were reviewing an ordinance that the council had passed earlier this spring about firearm discharges, and had a conversation about pellet guns and air guns, as that is not defined it does not meet the legal definition of firearms. And so anyway, just want to thank the council members who participated in that discussion. And if anyone's interested, the recording is available.
Yep, Councilwoman Sheila Nisgowsky.
Oh, thank you, President Lee. In the 6th District, some exciting stuff going on. La Casa de Amistad had the dedication for their new playground And that was through Kaboom. And I believe that the grant for that new playground was somewhere around $100,000. And it was really exciting to see. This was all volunteers that came out. The people from Amazon came within our city here to help. And this was put up in a weekend. So it was very, very impressive. And it's going to be just something that those kids could really use and enjoy. And it just shows you the positive things going on in our community. And it was just wonderful to see. Also, Miss Karen White and I got invited to see the Extended Love Child Care Ministries, which we had helped with some zoning and variance issues to get a playground and some fencing in place. So we were there for their dedication on Sunday after church. And this was just wonderful. They have put in a small garden there. The little ones were riding around the cement track on their tricycles. And it was just wonderful to see. And it's really uplifted that part of the community as well. So they could be a blueprint for other daycare ministries. I mean, it really, really was impressive. So I'm just happy to say that the 6th District is still continuing to move forward, and I'm really excited to see all these positive projects. And thank you to Councilmember White for going with me and also for helping for us to get that playground secured.
Anybody else?
Yes, I'd like to,
Yes,
somebody
ma'am.
else.
Yes.
I'd like to say that on the 19th of August, South Bend Heritage presented the West Washington Dunbar homes with the brand new park. We had the mayor and several guests there, and it was really wonderful. Now the kids have their own private park, so where they don't have to go all over the neighborhood. They can play right in their own backyards almost, and it was a beautiful dedication. And thanks to the leader over there, Mr. Joseph Karanja, for doing such a wonderful job.
Thank you. I also want to say that Leaper Park, we did a groundbreaking for the new tennis courts a few weeks ago, and also Ethan and Alan, they're building some homes that's right on Marion Street, and there are a lot of exciting things happening within our city, and we're excited about the growth and opportunity that's happening in our city. And Apostle Dennis Givens celebrated a birthday, and we gave him a resolution from the council, proclamation from the council. And then this coming Saturday, Macedonia Church is celebrating 100 years of ministry. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be there, but I know that Ms. White is working on a proclamation from the council. But we want to celebrate these great historic institutions in our city. And with that being,
wait, I did have one other thing I wanted to make sure the council members, my apologies. May I
Go ahead.
speak? Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you, President Lee. VPA is also hosting at the Rum Village Park. It's called the Fun Family Fair event. That is going to be on, I believe it's September 7th. Is it the 6th? Thank you so much. September 6th. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2. They're going to be having a professional pumpkin carver come in, and there's going to be a 1,000-pound pumpkin there. And they're also going to have some hay rides, so it's going to be a great, fun family event. So I would encourage everybody to come if you're able to. I know I'm trying to get my grandkids there, so it's going to be a fun time. Thank you, Chair.
Yep, thank you. Now we'll move on to new business. Any new business? Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to state, regrettably, I had hoped to schedule a Health and Public Safety, second Health and Public Safety Committee meeting today at 4:30. We had to reschedule that. So we hope to reschedule that sooner than later. Representatives of South Bend PD and Oak Lawn Crisis Intervention and Mobile Crisis Response teams are eager to provide council and committee with an update in the past year or so that they've been in operation. So we look forward to that briefing from them in the next month or so. And then I'll be hosting an Information Technology Committee meeting tomorrow, August 26th at 6 p.m. And the topic of that overview and update is City Hall technology. our city service center, and overall digital service efforts in new City Hall.
All right, thank you. We'll now move to privilege of the floor. Disrespectful, rude, or disruptive speech or actions will not be tolerated. Such speech or actions, as well as verbal attacks on any person, may result in the individual without notice forfeiting the remainder of his or her allotted time. Individuals who wish to address the council must state their name and residential address. Individuals will be limited to 3 minutes only. The maximum time limit for the portion of this meeting shall be 30 minutes. Individuals shall not be permitted to address topics which the council has heard previously on the agenda, and the council president may assign a topic raised by an individual during the privilege of the floor to the appropriate council member or request the city clerk to contact a member of the city administration for review, and topics assigned shall be responded to at the next scheduled council meeting. Yes, ma'am. Would you state your name and address for the record?
Sue Castleman, 4022 Kennedy Drive. Good evening. 2 or 3 years ago at a budget hearing, Eric Korvath, I asked a question about PFAS, which is the forever chemicals in our water. He said that it was already an issue and that they're rotating which wells they pull from to try and mitigate not having as much come up. At that time, I pointed out that Tampa, Florida has a system to remove that from the water system. Now, all of us need to be concerned. Every single person in this city should be concerned about the safety of the water. I would like there to be an ongoing update to the citizens about what's being done about this. I mean, our water is really, really important to every single one of us. And I really haven't heard, what the city's planning to do, how it's being budgeted, what kind of filters are going to be put in, because obviously our wells are already contaminated. So that's a concern to me. And I just wanted to bring that up, that I think it should be council's concern, and I think they need to update the public on a regular basis, and particularly during the budget. How are we budgeting for this problem? Another thing, I've talked to some local businesses, and they've been told to take down those feather flags, that go out by the road or whatever. And they said, we're just really trying to make ends meet. And they feel like the city's working against them when they don't let them put up their feather flags at lunchtime or whatever it is. So, it'd be great for you to help out the small business and take that out of the ordinances about those feather flags, because our local families that have family businesses really want those, and they feel like it helps their business. In some of my research, I noticed that there's, I think, at least currently 47 blighted, vacant, or abandoned properties. Maybe, it's time to get community input on some creative ideas. I mean, I'm tired of always hearing about a new bar opening, another bar opening. Oh, there's a bar in this building. I mean, I would love to see the community hold like a fun hackathon or something, look at the properties, and maybe, a flower shop goes in one of them or something else. I just think we need to be more creative other than putting more bars and everything in every nook and cranny. So that's one of my thoughts on that. And of course, I'm concerned about the neighbors that were here on Catherwood with the squatter. I feel like maybe the ordinances need to be stronger to help those neighbors. Code enforcement, whatever you've got to do, they've been putting up with that for 4 years. Now they've got dog bites, they've got them out in the streets, doing drugs. They've got, it's just really bad situation. So maybe look at the ordinances and see what you can do to strengthen help out those people to keep their neighborhood pleasant and safe. So those are just my 4 concerns for this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else? If not, at this point, thank you all for your time and for being here tonight to learn more about our city government. This meeting is now adjourned.